Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Accounting Lessons with BCV. Sir Brian here. Today, we will be discussing about intercompany sales. This topic is an extension of our discussion on consolidated financial statements. So before continuing watching this video, I suggest that you watch our lecture videos on consolidated financial statements at date of acquisition and subsequent to date of acquisition. The links are provided in our description box below. Okay? Now, let's start our discussion of this topic by answering the question, what are intercompany sales? So pag sinabi nating intercompany sales, guys, these are sales occurring between the parent and its subsidiaries. Since intercompany sales are also intercompany transactions, these sales must be eliminated, no, when preparing consolidated financial statements. Kasi tatandaan nyo, ang consolidated financial statements, ang dapat lang nating ma-report dyan ay mga transactions with outsiders. So any intercompany transactions between parent and its subsidiaries must be eliminated in the process of preparing your consolidated financial statements. Doon sa lecture video natin sa subsequent to date of acquisition, isang intercompany transaction pa lang ang nai-introduce ko sa inyo doon, no? So that is the intercompany dividends, no? So dito sa lecture video natin, dadagdagan na natin yung mga intercompany transactions na dapat ma-eliminate sa computation ng ating consolidated net income. Okay? Yan. Next. There are two types of intercompany sales. Meron tayong tinatawag na downstream sales and upstream sales. Ito ang tatandaan nyo. Ang structure between parent and subsidiary ay palaging nasa taas si parent. Okay? At palaging nasa baba ni parent si subsidiary. Kasi tatandaan nyo, si parent ay acquirer. No? So, nasa kanya yung control over the subsidiary. Okay? So, ganun palagi, nasa baba niya palagi si subsidiary. Okay? So, authority niya dito ay si parent. Okay? Sige. So, pag sinabi nating downstream sales, pababa yung benta, no? So, downstream sales are intercompany sales from parent to subsidiary. So, sa downstream sales, ang seller natin dito ay si parent, di ba? Seller or selling company. Then, si subsidiary ay buyer or buying company. Right? Next, doon naman sa upstream sales, pataas yung benta, no? So pag sinabi nating upstream sales, these are sales from subsidiary to the parent. So pag upstream sales naman tayo, guys, si subsidiary yung seller at si parent naman yung buyer. Naiintindihan? Ayan. Now, bakit kailangan nating alamin pa yung klase ng intercompany sales kung i-eliminate lang din naman natin ang mga intercompany sales? That's a good question, no? Ang reason dyan ay kasi pag nag-eliminate ka ng downstream or ng upstream sales, iba ang impact nila pagdating sa computation ng share ng consolidated net income nila parent at ni subsidiary, no? Magkaiba kasi yung impact or yung effect pag nag-eliminate tayo ng downstream or upstream. Okay? O, analyze natin ha. Sa downstream sales, nabanggit natin si parent yung seller. And tatandaan natin kung sino ang seller, nasa kanya yung profit. Correct? So, sa downstream sales, yung intercompany profit or intercompany sales ay nasa libro ni parent. Correct? Therefore, nai-include siya sa net income ni parent or the separate net income ni parent. Doon naman sa upstream sales, since si subsidiary yung seller, nasa kanya naman yung intercompany profit. Di ba? So kung nasa subsidiary yung intercompany profit, yan ay nai-include sa kanyang separate net income. Okay? Oh, pag nag-eliminate tayo ng downstream sales, ang maaapektuhan lang diyan ay si parent lang mismo. Okay? Kasi kapag ang ini-eliminate natin ay attributable lang kay parent, hindi madadamay si NCI kasi wala namang ownership yung non-controlling interest kay parent. Okay? Pag upstream sales naman, pag in-eliminate mo ang upstream sales, no? So, sino maapektuhan? Siyempre yung subsidiary, correct? Eh, di ba si subsidiary is being partially owned by parent and non-controlling interest. Therefore, pag in-eliminate ang upstream sales, apektado both si parent at si non-controlling interest. Tandaan, everything that affects the subsidiary affects both the parent and non-controlling interests. Okay? Yan. So, summary natin, if we eliminate downstream sales, ang maapektuhan lang na share ng consolidated net income ay yung kay parent lang. Pag upstream sales naman ang na-eliminate natin, apektado ang share ng parent at ng NCI. Naiintindihan na? Okay. Okay. So dito naman tayo sa main ano natin, no? Main concept, which is intercompany sales of inventories. Dito sa lecture video, focus tayo sa intercompany sales of inventories. Then sa susunod nating lecture video, ang focus naman natin ay intercompany sales of fixed assets. Okay? Sige. Now, for intercompany sales of inventories, ito yung summary ng mga concepts na dapat nating tandaan. No? Tatlo lang yan, don't worry. Number 1, eliminate intercompany sales. Nabanggit na natin kanina na kailangan nating i-eliminate ang mga intercompany transactions. Number 2, eliminate the unrealized profit in ending inventory or UPAI. Okay? Sir, ano tong unrealized profit in ending inventory or UPAI? So pag sinabi nating UPAI, kasi 'di ba kung imagine niyo, pag nagbebentahan ng inventory si parent at si subsidiary, syempre si parent ibebenta niya yan at its selling price. Yung selling price usually mas mataas sa original cost ng inventories, correct? So pagdating doon kay subsidiary or the buyer, ang cost niya ay equal sa selling price ng seller. Okay? Eh, since meron silang parent and subsidiary relationship, pag nag-prepare ng consolidated financial statements itong si parent, kailangan nating i-adjust yung mga accounts ng subsidiary. Di ba? Ayun. Since overstated, ang dating kasi niyan, overstated yung cost sa libro ng buyer. No? Lalo na kapag may natira pa or unsold units of inventory from intercompany sales sa outsiders, ma-overstate din yung kanyang merchandise inventory ending. That's why there is a need to eliminate the unrealized profit in ending inventory. Okay? Ayan. So, yung number 2, applicable ito kapag may unsold inventories at the end of the period pa. Yung buyer. Naintindihan? Ayan. Then yung number 3 natin, yung mga hindi nabenta last year at nabenta this year, okay? Since nabenta na sa outsiders, pwede na nating i-recognize yung tinatawag nating intercompany profit. No? Ang tawag naman natin dyan ay realized profit in beginning inventory or RPBI. Okay? Yung number 3, applicable lang yan after the first year of intercompany sales. Naintindihan ba? Ayan. So, yan yung summary. Di ba? Medyo malabo pa, di ba? So, gusto kong i-emphasize ang mga summary na ito through the use of this illustrative example. Mas gusto ko kasi na visualize ng mga students yung nangyayari para maintindihan nila yung proseso. Okay? Sige. So, P company has 80% interest in S company. So, since that is already more than 50% of the ownership over a company, then we assume that there is control. Okay? Yan. On March 1, P company sold goods to S company for 1 million, which includes a gross profit of 30% on sales. During 2023, 60% of the goods were sold to outsiders for 750,000. The remaining 40% were sold the next year or 2024. Both companies use the perpetual inventory system. So we have two requirements here. Number one, prepare the journal entries in the books of the entities during 2023. Then number two, prepare the working paper elimination entries or WPs, tinatawag nating WPs yan, for the preparation of the consolidated financial statements for 2023. Ayan. So number one muna tayo guys, no? Prepare journal entries in the books of the entities during 2023. So simulan natin sa pinakasimula to, no? Ayan. So starting point natin is March 1, 2023. So sabi 'di ba nabentahan daw ni P company si S company ng goods, no? So ano entry ni parent nung binentahan niya si subsidiary? Debit, cash. 1 million. Credit, sales. 1 million. Since both entities are using perpetual inventory system, we will also journalize the cost of goods sold in the books of the parent, correct? So ano entry natin? Debit, cost of goods sold, magkano? Since may gross profit siya na 30%, magkano kaya or ilang percent yung cost? That is 70%. So 1 million times 70%, that would be 700,000. And credit, merchandise, inventory, 700,000. Gets? So yan ang entry natin sa libro ni parent. Okay? Next, punta tayo kay S company. Sa libro naman ni S company. On the same day, 'di ba? Binentahan siya ni parent. So ano entry ni S company sa kanyang libro? Debit, merchandise, inventory, magkano? Magkano cost niya or initial cost? Answer, equivalent to the parent's selling price, which is 1 million. And credit, cash, 1 million. Okay? Yan. So, obserbahan nyo, yung naging initial cost ni buyer or ni buying company ay equal sa selling price nung seller. So ano sa tingin niyo yung nangyayari sa merchandise inventory ni S company? Tama ba yan or overstated? Depende kung anong perspective ang tinatanong natin, no? So kung tinatanong natin from the perspective of the separate financial statements, tama yan. Walang problema yan sa separate financial statements. Pero pagdating sa consolidated financial statements, alam nating overstated yan. Okay? Yan. Yan ang tinatawag nating intercompany sales. To be specific, anong klaseng intercompany sales ang naganap? Answer, downstream sales ito. No? Kasi si P company, that's the parent. Binentahan niya ang subsidiary. So, pababa yung benta. Correct? So, this is a downstream sale. Okay? Now, let's move on. So, during 2023, 60% of the goods were sold to outsiders for 750,000. So, tuloy natin yung journal entry sa libro ni S company. So, lagyan na lang natin 2023 to. So, nakabenta daw siya ng 750,000. So, debit, cash, 750,000, credit, sales. 750,000. Since pati si S company gumagamit siya ng perpetual inventory system, ano yung kasunod nating entry? Debit, cost of goods sold. Ang sabi, 60% daw nung nung binili niya nung March 1 ay nabenta. So, 1 million times 60%, that would be 600,000. And credit, merchandise, inventory. Okay? So yung naganap naman doon sa 2023 journal entry natin, that is a sale to outsiders. Okay? Kaya hindi yan intercompany sales. Naintindihan ba ako? Okay? Ayan. Yung intercompany sales dyan ay yung March 1, 2023 sale natin. Ayan. So kung tinitignan natin yung perspective ng separate books nila, wala naman talaga problema eh. No? Magkakaproblema lang pag gagawa na ng consolidated financial statements. Okay? Oh, next. So let's say nasa dulo na tayo ng 2023. Prepare the working paper elimination entries for the preparation of the consolidated financial statements. So doon sa listahan ng WPs natin from other from our prior lecture videos, no? From date of acquisition and subsequent to date of acquisition, madadagdagan na sila ng tatlong WPs. Okay? So number one, what is the WPs for the elimination of intercompany sales? Yan. So the first WP for the intercompany sales of inventories is the elimination of intercompany sales. So ano ang entrada natin dito? Debit, sales, credit, cost of goods sold. Sir, magkano yung i-assign natin na for that first WP? Equal to your intercompany sales. So, di ba, nung March 1, binentahan nga ni P Company si S Company for 1 million, i-eliminate natin yung 1 million. Yan. So, that's your first working paper elimination entries. No? Ayan. Sir, gets namin yung pagka-debit ng sales equal to 1 million. Pero bakit ka nag-credit ng cost of goods sold equal to 1 million? Ayan. That's another good question. No? Kasi dito sa first WP natin, inassume natin na binenta or nabenta lahat ng units sa outsiders. Okay? So, di ba, pag nagbenta tayo, no? Nagbenta tayo, so debit cash, credit sales, and debit cost of goods sold, credit merchandise inventory. So we assume that all of these units were sold to outsiders during 2023 in our first WP. Okay? Pero alam naman natin hindi nabenta lahat, correct? No? In fact, 60% lang ng goods ang nabenta. That's why may pangalawa tayong WP, no? Para maano naman siya, may continuation yung story. Okay? Number 2, elimination of, ano nga ulit yun nasa concept summary natin, guys? You pay. Diba? Elimination of you pay. Okay? So, doon sa number 1, di ba? Alam natin na nasobrahan tayo ng pag-credit sa cost of goods sold. No? Ayun. So, pagdating sa number 2, may ibabalik tayong certain amount sa cost of goods sold natin. Okay? So, ano yung certain amount na ito? Okay? So, before that, ano yung WP natin, number 2? Debit, cost of goods sold, credit, merchandise, inventory. So since this involves elimination of unrealized profit in ending inventory, ang focus natin dyan ay is it yung nabenta na or yung hindi pa nabebenta? Answer, yung hindi pa nabebenta. Okay? So since 60% ang nabenta, ilang percent pa ang hindi nabebenta doon sa 1 million? That would be 40%. Okay? Ayan. So kung i-analyze natin, dito ko lagay ha. So 1 million, 60% were already sold. Eto wala na tayong problema, no? Nabenta na sa outsiders, therefore okay na yung ating okay na yung computation ng consolidated net income at that point. Pero may problema tayo. what about yung unsold portion na 40%? Okay? Kasi nakita nyo sa entries, di ba? Overstated na nga yung initial cost ni subsidiary or ni S company. Okay? So, yung hindi pa nabebenta na portion ay overstated na din. Overstated yung merchandise inventory ni S company. Okay? So, how do we determine the amount of profit to be eliminated? So, ito ang ating formula. So, di ba 1 million times 40%? So, that would be 400,000 times gross profit rate of the seller. Ano yung gross profit daw? 30%. Okay? So, ang i-eliminate natin talaga dito is magkano? 400,000 times 30%? Is that 120,000? Let me confirm dahil wala rin akong tiwala sa mental math ko. So, that would be 120. Tama naman pala. So, debit, cost of goods sold, 120. Credit, merchandise inventory, 120,000. Okay? Ayan. So, yung amount ng overstatement sa merchandise inventory ni S Company ay yung 120,000. Naintindihan ba ako? Okay? So, that's your second WIPI. Actually, yan lang yung WIPIs natin pagdating ng 2023, no? Or for 2023. Okay? Yung pangatlo, ito ay applicable na for 2024. Okay? Ayan. Pero, sige, lagay natin. Ano nga ulit yung pangatlo natin, guys? Ano nga ulit yung pangatlo natin based sa concept summary? That is the recognition of RPBI. Since ang sabi sa problem, the remaining 40% were sold during 2024, ito ay gagawin nyo lang siya sa 2024, not in 2023. Okay? Now, the RPBI of 2024 is actually equal to your you pay in 2023, which is yung 120,000. Okay? So ano yung magiging entry natin to recognize your realized profit in beginning and inventory? That is debit, retained earnings, credit, cost of goods sold. Magkano? 120,000. Naintindihan ba ako? Sir, ba't ganon? Bakit ka nag-debit ng retained earnings? What's the logic behind? Okay. Imagine niyo yung 120,000 na yan, di ba? Na-close na yan last year. Na-close na yan sa retained earnings ng seller, no? In this case, di ba ang seller si P Company? Actually, we are pertaining to the retained earnings of the parent. Okay? Ang in-adjust natin dyan ay yung retained earnings ni parent. Okay? So since last year, na-close niya na yan sa separate FS niya, pagdating ng 2024, since nabenta na yung remaining units ng intercompany sales, di ba, ng inventory, doon mo palang i-recognize sa Consolidated FS 2024. So, nakikita nyo, noong 2023, sa separate FS, realize na yung buong profit on intercompany sales. Pero pagdating sa Consolidated FS ng 2023, hindi natin ni-report to, si 120,000. Di ba? Kasi ano nga, hindi pa nabebenta. So, hindi pa siya pwedeng i-recognize. Mare-recognize lang siya pag nabenta na siya sa outsiders, which is 2024 na. Okay? So, ang ginawa natin dito sa third WIPI, kinuha ulit natin yung 120,000 from last year at ni-report natin ngayon. Okay? Through reduction of cost of goods sold. Are we clear? Ayan. So, these are your 3 working paper elimination entries for intercompany sales of inventory. Okay? Now, lahat ng to applicable for downstream sales. Except, what about pag upstream sales naman? Numbers 1 and 2, same WIPIs lang sila. pagdating sa upstream sales. Magkakaiba lang yan pagdating doon sa pangatlo, no? Which is yung recognition of RPBI. So kapag upstream sales ito, lagyan natin upstream sales, ang magiging third WIPI mo ay debit, retained earnings ni parent, debit non-controlling interest, credit cost of goods sold. So this time, pumasok bigla yung non-controlling interest. Kasi tatandaan nyo, ang sabi natin, pag nag-eliminate tayo ng upstream sales, apektado pati si NCI. Therefore, in our WIPIs, naapektuhan na rin sa NCI. So consistent yung concept, concept building natin. Naintindihan na? Ayan. Okay? So, okay tayo guys, ha? Next. Assess na natin kung ano ang impact nito sa computation ng consolidated net income or loss, no? Ayan. So dito guys, from net income ni parent until gain on bargain purchase, na-discuss na natin yan sa subsequent to date of acquisition lecture video. So hindi na natin babalikan yan, no? Because I expect na iintindihan nyo na yung areang yan. Okay? Mas magpo-focus tayo doon sa additional components ng ating consolidated net income. No? Okay. Yan. Observe nyo, separate yung downstream at upstreams palagi. No? Whether you pay or RPBI, separate yung downstream and upstream. Okay? Oh, let's start with your computation of the consolidated net income for the group. So, pag you pay, alam naman natin na nag-eliminate tayo ng profit, anong ginagawa natin? Nagde-deduct. Okay? So, lahat ng you pay, deduct yan dito. Pagdating naman sa RPBI, since ang word ay i-realize, tayo ay mag-a-add naman. So, add and add. Okay? Yan. So, at this point, makukumputan na natin siya ng consolidated net income. So, happy na tayo at this portion. Okay? Now, pagdating naman sa distribution between parent and non-controlling interest, tandaan nyo lang yung sinabi ko doon sa second slide natin. Pag nag-eliminate tayo ng downstream sales, sino lang apektado? Answer? Si parent lang. So, lahat ng downstream dito, guys, kay parent lang ang may effect. No? At yung RPBI. Yan. Nakuha lahat ng downstream, si parent lang apektado niyan. Pagdating naman sa upstream, ano sabi natin sa second slide kanina? Both parent and NCI. So, upstream, yan. And RPBI. So, do you now see the whole picture? Kaya, napaka-importante ma-distinguish yung downstream sa upstream. Kasi, iba yung kanilang epekto pag pag nag-compute na tayo ng consolidated net income attributable to the parent and non-controlling interest. Pero pag kinompute mo lang yung kabuuan ng consolidated net income, wala naman talaga silang difference. Okay? Yan. So at this point, we can now compute both shares in the consolidated net income for parent and non-controlling interest. So lahat tayo ay happy na. Okay? So I hope you understand, guys, ha? Now, in our next slide, let us now reinforce the concepts. Okay? So this is our actual problem. Don't worry, this problem is in your in the handout that is uploaded in our Facebook group, no? Yung BCV Accounting Lessons Community. No? Don't worry, the link is already provided in your description box below. Okay? Sige. Yan. So, as we can see, we have 10 requirements. Okay? Yan. So, number 1 tayo. So, pag hindi nyo pa nababasa yung problem, pwede nyo namang i-pause itong video na to, then basahin nyo muna yung kabuuan ng problem number 1. Okay? Sige. So, number 1, we are asked to compute for the downstream unrealized profit in ending inventory for 2023 and 2024. Okay, so how do we compute this one? So ang formula natin dito ay, number 1, determine lang muna natin yung remaining unsold portion of, anong klaseng sales daw tayo? Downstream, no? So, of downstream sales. Okay? Remaining unsold portion. Okay? Yan. Saan natin pwedeng mahanap ito? Ito, sir. Saan natin pwede siya mahanap? Actually, nandun lang siya mahanap sa ending inventory nino ng buyer company. Pag downstream, sino buyer? It is the subsidiary. Correct? So, pupunta tayo sa ending inventory ni subsidiary niyan. Okay? Then, we will multiply that amount by the gross profit rate. Nino? Ni seller. Alright? So, GPR ni parent ito. Kasi sa downstream sale, alam natin ang seller ay si parent. Okay? Pero take note, the gross profit rate must be based on sales. Okay? Kasi kung imagine niyo yung amount doon, yung amount na mapupunta sa merchandise inventory ni subsidiary later on ay equal sa selling price ni parent. So para safe yung computations natin, we will always base the gross profit rate on sales. Do you follow? Ayan. So both 2023 and 2024 tayo. Okay. Now, pakihanap nga yung sales of P to S kasi yan yung downstream natin. So that is actually the first table. Okay? Sige. Now, 2023, how much is the intercompany sales of P to S? That is 300,000. Next. Pakihanap nga kung ilang percent pa yung hindi nabebenta for 2023. Answer? Sabi dito, 60% of sales. So, get the 60% of 300,000. That would be 180,000. So, yan ang ilalagay natin for 2023. Okay? Yan kasi yung unsold portion pa. Do you follow? Next. Given ba yung gross profit rate on sales ni parent? Yes. So according to the first table, 25% based on sales. Okay, so since naka-base na pala siya sa sales, simply copy 25%. So how much will be our you pay downstream for 2023? 180,000 times 25%, sagot natin, 45,000. So that is your you pay 2023. Next one, 2024 naman. Magkano yung intercompany downstream sales? That would be 240,000. Ilang porsyento pa ang hindi daw nabebenta or yung na-remain pa sa ending inventory ng buying affiliate? Answer? 80% of sales. So, 240,000 times 80%, that would be 192,000. What is the gross profit rate provided for 2024 downstream sales? Answer, 20% based on cost. Okay? So, pag ang given na gross profit rate ay based on cost pa, we need to convert that into gross profit rate based on sales. So how do we convert? No? How do we convert gross profit rate based on cost to gross profit rate based on sales? This will be your formula, no? So gross profit rate based on cost to be converted to GPR based on sales. Formula will be gross profit rate on cost divided by 100% plus gross profit rate on cost. So kung sa substitute natin, so that would be 20, di ba? 20% divided by 100% plus 20%. So yung magiging gross profit rate on sales natin is 20 over 120. Do you follow? Ayan. Kailangan natin siya ma-convert, no? Kasi yung 192,000 is equivalent to the selling price of your parent. That's why kinonvert natin. Okay? Now, kung hindi nyo maintindihan bakit nagkaganyan yung formula ng pag-convert ng gross profit rate, tingnan natin yung computation ng gross profit. Sales less cost of goods sold is equal to gross profit. So, di ba ang sabi, 20% daw ang gross profit rate, which is based on cost. Kung saan nakabase yung gross profit rate, yun ang 100%. Okay? That's why yung denominator natin naging 120 kasi kung titignan natin, kung naka 100% na yung cost, para maging gross profit rate ay 20%, paakyatin natin, it is equivalent to 120%. Nasundan? Nakukuha okay? Yung doon sa 25% kasi kanina, since naka-base na siya sa sales, parang ganito lang ang naging scenario. 25% based on sales. Eh di ito na agad yung naka 100%, 'di ba? So wala na tayong problema doon sa 2023. Nakuha na? Ayan. Sige. So lagay natin 20 over 120. So how much is your you pay downstream 2024? 192 times 20 over 120, that would be 32,000. So guys, our final answer for number 1 is 45,000 and 32,000. Okay? Number 2. This time, upstream, you pay naman ang tinatanong. Okay. So, pag upstream you pay naman, actually similar yung ating formula, no? Pero may iba lang yung titignan nating perspective na, no? So, unsold portion of upstream sales. So, saan natin makikita yung information dito? Manggagaling naman yan sa ending inventory ni sino ulit yung buyer pag upstream? Parent. Okay? Multiply it by the gross profit rate of the seller. Sino ulit ang seller ng upstream? It's the subsidiary. Okay? So nakita nyo, biglang bumabaliktad siya. Okay? Yun din, it must be based on sales. Para consistent tayo. Okay? Ayan. So you pay upstream for 2023 and 2024. Oh, let's start. So pakihanap lang yung information of intercompany sales of S to P naman. So that's the second table. How much is the intercompany upstream sales for 2023? That is 120,000. Ilang porsyento pa ang hindi daw nabebenta or yung natira sa ending inventory ng buying affiliate? Kalahati. So, that would be 60,000. Next, how much is the gross profit rate? 25% ang sabi. Kaso naka-based on cost. So, kailangan ulit natin siyang i-convert into gross profit rate based on sales. So, ano gagawin? 25 divided by 125. Just follow our formula in our prior slide. Okay? So, how much is our you pay upstream 2023? 60,000 times 25 over 125. That would be 12,000. Next, 2024, magkano ang intercompany upstream sales? 150,000. Ilang porsyento pa daw ang natitira sa ending inventory ng buying affiliate? 40%. So, that would be 60,000. Yan. And what is the gross profit rate for that intercompany sale? 40% based on sales. Since nakabase na siya sa sales, kopyahin lang natin. So how much is our you pay upstream 2024? That would be 24,000. So guys, our final answer for number 2 is 12,000 for 2023 and 24,000 for 2024. Nasusundan? Ayan. Okay. Numbers 3 and 4. We are asked to compute for the downstream RPBI and upstream RPBI. Ayan. So number 3 tayo dito. Ito muna, number 3. Then later on, magna-number 4 tayo. So number 3, gusto daw natin malaman yung RPBI downstream 2024. Tama? Ayan. Anong sabi natin kanina pagdating sa RPBI? The RPBI of this year is simply equal to your you pay last year. Nakuha? So kung parang kokopya lang tayo ng sagot sa number 1. Do you follow? Okay. So how much will be our RPBI downstream 2024? That would be, magkano nga ulit yung you pay downstream 2023 natin? 45,000. So that's your answer for number 3. And for number 4, RPBI upstream 2024 is simply equal to your you pay upstream 2023. So our RPBI upstream is magkano? Magkano nga ulit yung sagot natin sa you pay upstream 2023? 12,000. So these are our answers for numbers 3 and 4. Naintindihan ba? Okay. So tandaan niyo yung mga sagot natin ha, kasi i-integrate na natin yan sa computation ng consol net income. Yan. Ito na yung exciting part. Okay. So, numbers 5 to 7, puro consol net income na. No? Ayan. Okay. So, sabayin natin ang pag-compute. Let's start. How much is the net income of the parent for the year 2023? Lagyan ko lang ng label. Mahirap kasi pag walang label, no? Yan. Sige. So, how much is the net income parent 2023? That is 393,600. Net income subsidiary, magkano? 120,000. Do we have intercompany dividends? Yes, kasi nagbayad daw ng dividend si S Corporation during 2023. Magkano intercompany dividends? Is it the whole 72,000? No, only the share of the parent. No? Eh, di ba sabi sa problem 1, ilang porsyento nga ulit si parent? 75%, no? So simply get 75% of 72,000. Our intercompany dividends is 54,000. Okay? And simply recall our answers with regard to your you pay downstream and upstream 2023. Ano sagot natin kanina? That is, you pay downstream is 45,000. Am I correct? So minus ha, tandaan nyo pag you pay, minus. Then, you pay upstream natin is 12,000. Minus din siya. Do you follow? So, computing na natin agad si number 5. So, summarize nyo lang yung second column natin. So, how much is our consolidated net income for number 5? That would be 402,600. 600. Yan. So that's your answer for number 5. Number 6 and 7, sabayin natin ha. So, kailangan na nating hatiin yung 400 to 600 between parent and non-controlling interest. Net income ni parent, yan ay kay parent lang. Okay? Net income ni subsidiary, attributable kay parent at NCI. So, get 75% for parent and 25% for the NCI. So, how much is the 75% of 120,000? 90,000. And how much is the 25%? 30,000. Okay? Intercompany dividends, since attributable lang yan sa parent, kay parent lang natin siya i-eliminate. Okay? Oh, ayan na. Pag downstream, sino apektado? Parent or both parent and NCI? Sagot natin, parent lang. So, yung buong 45,000, dededuct lang natin kay parent. Okay? Then, pagdating sa upstream, sino na apektado? Both parent and NCI. So, hatiin natin yung 12,000 based on their ownership interest. So, 75% for the parent and 25% for the NCI. How much is that? That would be 9,000 for the parent and 3,000 for the NCI. Okay, so, eto na yon, number 6 and number 7. So, magkano ang sagot sa number 6 natin? So, that would be 375,600. Then, for number 7, ano sagot natin? 30 minus 3, 27,000. Okay? Naintindihan na? Ayan. So that's our answers for numbers 5 to 7. And for the last 3 items, another wave of computation of constant net income. Okay? So this is for 2024. Ayan. Mapapansin nyo, biglang may RPBI na, no? Yung kanina wala. Kasi first year of intercompany sales pa lang. Okay? Sige. So, determine na natin how much is the net income parent 2024? That is 468,400. Net income subsidiary 2024, 100,000. Intercompany dividends, 60,000 times 75%, 45,000. Deduct. Oh, you pay downstream and upstream 2024 naman ha. Magkano yung you pay downstream 2024? That is 32,000. And you pay upstream 2024 is 24,000. Oh, last two, RPBI. Okay? Magkano RPBI natin? That is simply equal to your you pay last year's, no? So you pay downstream last year is 45,000. This time add na sila. Okay? And RPBI upstream is 12,000. Nasusundan? Okay. So, ano sagot natin sa number 8? Our answer is 524,400. Yan. That's number 8, no? Next, parent and NCI. So, numbers 9 and 10. Net income parent, kay parent lang po. Net income subsidiary, so both parent and NCI. That would be 75,000 and 25,000. Intercompany dividends, kay parent lang ulit natin siya i-deduct. You pay downstream, parent lang po. Okay? You pay upstream, both parent and NCI. So 75% of 24,000 is 18,000. And magkano 25% niya? That would be 6,000. RPBI downstream, okay, parent lang ulit. Kasi downstream eh. Pag upstream, both parent and NCI na. So that would be how much? Plus 9,000 and plus 3,000 for the NCI. Ayan. So, we can now compute numbers 9 and 10. So, ano sagot sa number 9? Our answer is 502,400. Okay? And for number 10, 25,000 less 6,000 plus 3,000. That is 22,000. Do you follow? So that is your computation of consolidated net income with the effect of or with the effects of intercompany sales of inventories. Okay? Ayan. So yung ano natin, natatanda natin, generally, ang RPBI mo is simply equal to your you pay last year. Unless na lang may sinabi yung problem na hindi pa din pala lahat ng mga unsold merchandise last year ay nabenta this year, no? So pagka ganon, ipoproportionate nyo pa yung RPBI nyo. Equivalent to the sold portion in the current year. Nakuha? Oh, balikan natin ha. Okay? May balikan lang tayo. Ayan. So, paano kung hindi pala lahat ng mga inventories ay nabenta this year or 2024? Let's say 80% lang daw ang nabenta. So, ang gagawin nyo, for the RTBI downstream, no? Simply multiply 45,000 by 0.8. Proportionate nyo lang siya, no? Ganun lang. Pati yung sa 12,000, assuming 80% lang daw ang nabenta during 2023. Okay? Yan. Ano nyo lang, multiply nyo lang siya ng 80%. Okay? Ganun lang naman. Okay? Yan. I hope na na-appreciate niyo si intercompany sales of inventories through this lecture video. Okay? Yan. And that's the end of our discussion on intercompany sales of inventories. In our next lecture video, we will now be discussing intercompany sales of fixed assets. So thank you for watching.